We've got some really interesting material here today, all focused on boosting your American English.
That's right. Not just understanding it, but actually speaking it, sounding more natural.
Exactly. So think of this as us, digging through it all, pulling out the key bits for you, the stuff that gives you the biggest bang for your learning buck, basically a shortcut to getting it.
Yeah, and you've provided a really structured set of exercises. We've got listening, vocabulary work, speaking practice. Our goal is to see how these pieces fit together, how they build like real fluency.
Right. It's not just knowing rules.
No, it's about getting a feel for the language itself.
Okay, so the material breaks down neatly. First, listening to a conversation, then looking closely at some specific vocabulary from it, then some questions to check understanding, and finally, something called shadowing practice.
Right, a four-part structure.
So let's jump right in. Starting with that first conversation between Anna and Mark, what stood out to you there?
Well, what's great is how real it sounds. It captures that everyday rhythm,
Yeah, not like a textbook script.
Not at all. It's just two people chatting about something pretty normal, this new cafe that opened up. You pick up on the words, sure, but also how they talk, the pauses, the little fillers.
Totally. And the situation itself, a new cafe near the library, aiming at students, cheap prices, free Wi-Fi. It's very relatable, isn't it?
Very. Makes it easier to connect with the language when it's grounded like that. It's not abstract.
And we hear about Mark's experience there, too. He went already.
Yeah, he had a sandwich and coffee. Simple stuff.
But it surprised him, right? In a good way.
It did. That bit where he says, I gotta admit, I didn't expect it to taste that great. That's such a natural phrase.
It really is. It's not just, it was good food. There's that nuance, that hint of surprise.
Exactly. And you also get a sense of the place being kind of busy, lots of students studying, relaxing. Paints a picture.
Definitely. And then it leads naturally to them making a plan.
Right. They decide to go together the next day.
After class tomorrow. See, it's just a casual, everyday sort of plan making. It shows how English works in these, normal interactions.
And that context helps the word stick. It's not just a list of vocabulary.
Absolutely. Context is everything. Which kind of leads us nicely into the next part, the vocabulary deep dive.
Okay. So the material pulls out specific words and phrases from that chat. Let's start with cater to.
Right. Cater to. The definition given is pretty simple. To give someone what they need or want.
Yeah, straightforward.
But what's interesting, I think, are the examples they give. It's not just businesses.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, there's an example about a website catering to powerful people or catering to general needs, even catering to dogs or someone's ego.
Huh. Okay. So quite a range.
It really broadens your understanding of how versatile that phrase is.
Definitely. Seeing it used in all those different ways helps you nail down the core meaning, but also see its flexibility. It's about real-world use, not just the definition. Okay, next up. Got to admit.
Oh, yeah, Mark's phrase. It's explained as a way to say, I have to say, or I must be honest. What I find useful is how it often signals that little bit of hesitation or maybe surprise, like we talked about with the sandwich.
That's a good point. It carries a bit of emotional weight.
Yeah, and the examples show that. Admitting you were wrong about a movie, or expressing surprise, or even admitting you feel jealous, it adds that layer of honesty.
Or maybe reluctant agreement sometimes. It's subtle.
Right. And the last one they focused on was expect.
Expect. Okay.
Meaning, to think something will happen or be true. Simple enough.
But again, the examples probably show more.
They do. It goes from expecting a phone call or someone to arrive to general expectations about life, even expecting failure or expecting more from someone. And pregnancy, that's in there too.
Wow. Okay, so covering lots of ground.
Yeah, it shows how common these seemingly basic words are, but how much they do in conversation.
It's true. You use them all the time without really thinking about the full range of meaning. The examples really help illustrate that.
Which I guess is the whole point of the next section, the listen and answer practice.
Right, testing your understanding.
It forces you to actively recall the details from that conversation, not just passively listen.
And when you form the answers, even just in your head, you're starting to practice speaking too. It's active learning.
Definitely. So let's look at some of the questions. What did Anna first ask Mark about?
She asked about the new cafe, the one near the library. Simple recall.
Got it. And had Mark already been there?
Yes, he'd gone the day before yesterday.
So he knew about it firsthand. Was it expensive? Did it have Wi-Fi?
No, he said cheap prices and yes, free Wi-Fi. Key details for students.
Which links back to that vocabulary word.
Cater to. Exactly. It caters to students.
And what did he actually get when he went?
Just a sandwich and coffee. Kept it simple.
But was it bad? Or,
No. Simple but good. He used that phrase again. I got to admit, I didn't expect it to taste that great. Reinforces the vocab.
and Anna had a nice little observation after that, didn't she?
Yeah, she said something like, small places can be surprising. A nice general thought.
True. Was the place empty when Mark was there?
No, he said it was pretty full. Lots of students studying, relaxing. Gave a sense of the atmosphere.
Okay. And this made Anna want to go.
Yes, definitely. She said she needed a quiet place.
To finish homework, right?
Exactly. A common student need.
So did Mark agree to go with her?
He did. They decided on a time.
When was that again?
After class tomorrow.
So Anna and Mark are going together. Got it. See, the questions really walk you through the key information.
They solidify your understanding. You have to actively pull out those details.
Right. It makes it stick much better than just listening once.
Hmm.
Okay, and the final practice element was shadowing.
Ah, shadowing. Yeah, what's the main idea there?
Shadowing is it's really about improving your pronunciation and getting the rhythm right, the natural sound of English.
So you listen and repeat immediately.
Pretty much. You try to copy the speaker's intonation, their stress, their pauses, everything, as closely as you can, almost in real time.
Like mimicking a native speaker.
Exactly. It's like training your mouth and ears to work together to reproduce the sounds and the kind of musicality of the language.
Focusing on stress patterns, intonation, the rise and fall of the voice.
Yeah, all that stuff that makes speech sound natural, not robotic. It really sharpens your speaking.
Sounds like a powerful technique.
It can be. And the whole overall strategy that this material seems to push is repetition, right? Doing these exercises over and over.
Absolutely. Repetition is key for language learning. It helps move things from short-term memory into long-term memory, makes it automatic.
So going back through the conversation, the vocab, the questions, the shadowing, it all reinforces itself.
Yeah, think about learning music.
Mm-hmm.
You practice scales, you practice pieces again and again.
Until it becomes second nature.
Exactly. It builds that muscle memory for language, so you're not constantly translating in your head or searching for words. It becomes more intuitive.
It's a cycle. Listen, learn words, check understanding, practice speaking, repeat.
Each step helps the others. A really well-rounded approach.
So, to sum up this deep dive, we looked at a natural conversation, broke down some key everyday vocabulary,
Checked comprehension with targeted questions.
and highlighted shadowing for improving pronunciation and fluency, all based on the material you provided.
It covers listening, vocabulary, and speaking the core skills.
Definitely. So, thinking about all these different parts, the listening, the words, the speaking practice, here's something for you, the listener, to consider. What's one area you feel most motivated to focus on right now in your own language learning journey?